Hi everyone, this is Lien and welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. Today I'm featuring the Ghostly Greetings and Ghoul Friends stamp sets from Crafty Meraki that were recently released in the Meraki Craftober release. Now I wanted to feature these two stamp sets on a really simple card, and therefore I'm also using this watercolor wash square stencil from my favorite things that you also can buy at Crafty Meraki. Now I first assembled this background by just taking an A2 size card panel, and then I'm adding the stencil with a bit too much of purple tape, but at least it's stuck on there. And I'm going to create a really dark blue sky inside of the stencil with like one focal point that will be the light source. And I'm featuring this ghost, but it's so simple to recreate this card and just use all of the other images from this set, or maybe more if you want to feature more than just one image. Now I want to have some sort of a gradient, but starting with a light source there where my ghost was going to be floating, to have it sort of a magical glow around the ghost. And therefore I started with the lightest color first there where I wanted to place the ghost, and then I worked my way around that area with my darker distress inks. Now you can use whatever ink you want to do some ink blending. I'm just a really big fan of distress inks. I love their colors, I love the variety, I love the fact that there are minis and that it's affordable. But you use whatever you have at home and just have fun with your inks. I just prefer using these. The paper that I'm using is also the paper that I will use to do some Copic coloring on for my ghost, and that's Transotype Perfect coloring paper. And well, I just like to use the same paper all over my cards, so therefore I use this one to ink blend. It's not the easiest paper to do some ink blending on, so definitely check out how good you are at ink blending, how comfortable you are with that, and maybe change up the paper if you're new to it, because not every paper will be as easy to ink blend on. It's not necessarily your technique, it's sometimes just the paper. So as you can see here, depending on where you place everything, you can use any image in this stamp set. But again, I will use the ghost. And I'm just going to do a really simple kind of copy coloring. I'm going to do some flicking to give this ghost a bit of color, but only 2 markers will be used. And that will just be enough to have that same sort of blue glow as I have in the back. Now, as we had the release in the beginning of the week, we are still celebrating this week to share with you all the beautiful creations that you might be able to make with all of these newly released products. And today there is an Instagram hop going on, so this card is part of that hop. So I definitely want to get you over there. There is an incredible giveaway for you to win if you hop along and just follow, like, and give a comment, and then you can win a gift certificate of $25, which is wonderful if you have seen all of these gorgeous products from the release, because there is so much and you will love it all. Now tomorrow there will also be an Instagram hop, so definitely hop along again tomorrow. It's a lovely way to get inspired with all of the possibilities of the new release, and to see what is out there, what you might want, and I'm sure that you will have fun hopping along. So as you can see, I just added that color on mostly the right side of my ghost, and now on the left side I added just a bit, and I faded it out with my colorless blender, so that it would really feel like it was disappearing into the white blue area. So here I'm going over everything again, adding a bit more blue, going a bit further, knowing how much of that white space that I still have. I can play with that a bit and just add more. And I'm doing really tiny flicks. And then with my lightest color, I am fading it into the white area. So once I'm happy with the coloring, I'm going to fussy cut this image out. When I played with this to prepare for the new release and have some things ready for you, I didn't got the matching dies yet, but now I already have them, and I must admit it's incredible to have them. Also, if you want to use spider web, it's really detailed, and I just love matching dies. But just in case you are wondering whether it's doable to fussy cut, this ghost definitely is. Here it was a bit fiddling, but it worked out fine. But I'm just pro dies. I love them. I love the white outline. I love how easy it is. And if you have like those inside pieces that you want to cut out, like for the spider web, I think it's so handy to have the dies. Now onto my sentiment. My panel is dried in the meantime, and I'm just going to do some white heat embossing, adding this sentiment on the left corner on the bottom of this stenciled area. And then I'm going to use some white embossing powder to add on top of the sentiment. Now once I get rid of that excess embossing powder, I am going to heat set the sentiment really quickly. It's always handy if you have your heat gun, heat it up first before bringing it to your panel, and then you can go really quickly over your sentiment. Next up, I am going to buff off the excess anti-static powder, and then we can start assembling our card. So I adhered this ghost using some thin foam squares, but now that I'm doing the voiceover, all of a sudden I thought, no, I should have used an action wobbler. You know what I mean. I cannot pronounce it, but you know what I mean. Just so that it could shake. I think that would have been genius. But you know, sometimes we just think about things too late. But I can remake this card and use a thingy there to make it wobble. That being said, I'm just going to add this panel to a card base using some adhesive roller. That's the way I prefer adding my panels to my card bases. And then we are going to finish off this card. I wanted to have a bit of stars around the ghost, but I saw it by Amy Young. She did a Halloween kind of card with a live on Facebook, and from time to time when I have time to watch, I watch her, and she's incredible. But she added like around her ghost, like these stars with a white jelly roll pen, just to have the idea of magic around the image, and I really like that. And it's like she said, doing it with a pen, you have more control about the area where you're adding the stars, or in this case the stars to represent magic, instead of doing ink splatters, because ink splatters are really hard to control and they go everywhere, and I really wanted the focus to be around the image. So that's why I am adding with a white jelly roll pen some stars. Most of the stars will be in the lighter area, but it's still dark enough to show up, so I think that's really cute. And once I'm happy with the amount of stars that I added, this card will be completely done. Again, if you would make this, please use a wobbler. I think that would be so cool. So that's something that I would change about this card, but for the rest it's a really simple card as I like it. So I hope that you like it too. Again, this card is part of an Instagram hop which is going on today with a giveaway, so just hop along and maybe you will be the lucky winner. And tomorrow there is a new one, so definitely don't forget to watch and to hop again. I want to thank you all for stopping by. I hope that you are enjoying the Meraki Craftober release, because it's such a gorgeous release and I am absolutely ecstatic about it. Have fun seeing all the amazing creations by the design team, by the guest designers, and thank you. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you have an incredible day, and I'll be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!